Welcome all to my YouTube channel Shweta Gupta Chemistry Classes. As we are doing chapter 2nd in class 12, that is solutions. So today in that we'll be covering the topic colligative properties and determination of molar mass using the colligative property. So children, firstly we'll get to know what is colligative. Colligative is a Latin word which is made by combining two words, that is co and ligate. Co and ligate. These two words combine together to form colligative. Now, what does it means? Co means together and ligate means is to bind. So, the property of binding together is known as colligative property. Now, what is exactly colligative property? It is the property of a solution which depends upon the number of solute particles. Children, as you all know, a solution contains of both solute and solvent. And if a solution, I'm talking about its colligative property. So the colligative property of a solution depends on the number of solute particles. Suppose a solution is having 20 solute particles and a solution is having one solute particle. So the colligative property will depend upon the number, that is on 20 and 1, that it will totally depend upon the number of solute particle, and it does not depend upon what nature that solute has. It is independent of the nature of the solute. solute के नेचर के ऊपर डिपेंड नहीं करता. कोलिगेटिव प्रॉपर्टी जो होती है वो सिर्फ नंबर ऑफ सोल्यूट पार्टिकल्स के ऊपर डिपेंड करती है कि कितने पार्टिकल्स किसी भी सोल्यूशन में हैं. सो there are four colligative property. First one is relative lowering of vapor pressure. Second one is elevation and boiling point. Third one is depression and freezing point. And fourth one is osmosis and osmotic pressure. In this lecture, children, I'll be only discussing about the first colligative property, that is relative lowering of vapor pressure. How the vapor pressure of a solution lowers or decreases, this we will study, and by this we will be finding out the molar mass of the solute particles. Now children, we have already done that. If I take a container and in that I put a solvent molecule, I put a solvent, and that solvent is volatile in nature. Suppose I take water in it and then I add a non-volatile solute into it. Earlier children, when this solution was having only water, that is solvent, the whole surface was occupied by water molecule, and if you have heated that, then those water molecules vaporized. Children, more the number of solvent molecules, more they will vaporize, more vapors are formed. जितने ज़्यादा solvent के molecules होंगे उतने ही ज़्यादा वेपर फॉर्म होंगे, और जितने ज़्यादा वेपर फॉर्म होंगे उतना ही ज़्यादा उनका वेपर प्रेशर होगा. Now in the next container we'll take a solvent, same water, and but in that solvent we are adding non-volatile solute. So these are the particles of non-volatile solute. So children, earlier if there were 8 water molecules and all 8 water molecules were vaporized, but now the surface is occupied by non-volatile solute also. Then 4 molecules of non-volatile solute and 4 molecules of the solvent were present. But these 4 molecules of the solute do not vaporize. So the vapors are formed with the help of 4 molecules of the solvent only. Vapor जो form होंगे वो सिर्फ 4 molecules से ही form होंगे solvent के, ना कि in 4 non-volatile solute के. तो non-volatile solute is not going to form any vapor, but the particles of solvent only will form vapor. So here 8 particles were forming vapor, here 4 only forming the vapor. So more vapor form, more is the vapor pressure. Less vapor form, less is the vapor pressure. So When you add a non-volatile solute, the vapor pressure of the solution is decreased because the number of solvent particles over the surface of the solution decreases and less vapors are formed. So less vapors are formed, therefore the vapor pressure of the solution having non-volatile solute decreases. Now, the lowering of vapor pressure will totally depend upon the concentration of solute particles. Children, more the solute particles in a solution, less will be the vapor pressure because they will occupy more surface area, more space above this solution, so less vapors are formed. But if the number of non-volatile solute particles is less, then more vapor is formed and more will be the vapor pressure. So the lowering of vapor pressure will totally depend upon the number of solute particles. Now let us find out how lowering of vapor pressure occurs. What is the formula for that? This we are going to calculate now. Very important numerical portion from this comes in your board exam. Now, if suppose x1 is the mole fraction of the solvent, because children, for a solution we are taking a solvent and a solute. So x1 is a mole fraction of solvent. Here 1 is always taken for solvent and 2 is taken for solute. So mole fraction of solvent is x1, mole fraction of solute is x2. P1 naught is a vapor pressure of the pure solvent. What is P1 naught, children? As I have told you, here we have taken only water. So that was water only, pure water was there. So the vapor pressure of that pure water, pure solvent, because water is a solvent here. In that we have added non-volatile solute. चिल्ड्रेन यहाँ पर वाटर सॉल्वेंट है, तो अगर मैं सिर्फ सॉल्वेंट ही लेती हूँ एक कंटेनर में और उसको हीट करती हूँ, तो फिर वो वेपराइज होगा और वेपर प्रेशर एक्सर्ट करेगा. सो वो उसका वेपर प्रेशर होगा सिर्फ solvent का. That will be the vapor pressure of pure solvent. So for pure state it is always represented by P1 naught. So it is a vapor pressure of pure solvent P1 naught, and P is the vapor pressure of the solution. Solution is formed by adding non-volatile solute into a solvent. So P is the vapor pressure of solution. Now solute is non-volatile. So vapor pressure of solution. Now children, as I have told you just now, because the solute is non-volatile in nature, तो सल्यूट की वजह से तो वेपर प्रेशर होगा ही नहीं, क्योंकि सल्यूट तो नॉन वॉलेटाइल है. और जब सल्यूट नॉन वॉलेटाइल है चिल्ड्रन, देन इट विल नॉट गोइंग टू वेपराइज. जब कोई वेपराइज होगा ही नहीं, तो वो वेपर प्रेशर कैसे एक्सर्ट करेगा? हाउ इट इज़ गोइंग टू एक्सर्ट अ वेपर प्रेशर इफ इट इज़ नॉन वॉलेटाइल इन नेचर? सो हियर the vapor pressure of the solution, children, will be because of what? It will be totally due to the solvent, because it is the solvent molecules only which are being vaporized and not the solute particles. So the vapor pressure of solution, if I denote it with P1, it is totally due to the solvent and not due to the solute. So now, according to Raoult's law, children, this we have done earlier. P1, that is the pressure of a solution, is equals to P1 naught. P1 naught is the vapor pressure of the pure solvent into mole fraction of pure solvent. And children, just now I told you the vapor pressure of the solution is totally due to the solvent. So we can say that P, vapor pressure of solution, is equals to P1 is equals to P1 naught x1. Okay, I just hope this is understood. And as children, you all know that mole fraction of 1 plus mole fraction of 2 is equals to 1. So as on adding these two, we are getting 1. जब आप दो मोल फ्रैक्शंस को ऐड करते हैं, कोई भी दो कंपोनेंट हैं, आप उनके मोल फ्रैक्शंस को ऐड करते हैं तो उनका सम इज कमिंग इक्वल टू 1. सो इट इज, you can say that by seeing it that x1 and x2 both are less than 1, क्योंकि अगर ये 1 से ज़्यादा होते तो सम भी 1 से ज़्यादा होता. इसीलिए जो x1 और x2 होते हैं चिल्ड्रन, मोल फ्रैक्शन ऑफ कंपोनेंट 1 एंड मोल फ्रैक्शन ऑफ कंपोनेंट 2 is always less than 1. Therefore children, the vapor pressure of the solution will be less than the vapor pressure of pure solvent. Why I am saying this? मैं ऐसा क्यों कह रही हूँ कि जो वेपर प्रेशर ऑफ सोल्यूशन है वो हमेशा कम होता है, हमेशा लेस होता है देन वेपर प्रेशर ऑफ प्योर सॉल्वेंट से. वेपर प्रेशर ऑफ किसी भी सोल्यूशन का, इस सोल्यूशन का वेपर प्रेशर ऑफ प्योर सॉल्वेंट से कम होता है. मैंने आपको रीज़न दे चुका है, क्योंकि सॉल्वेंट तो वॉलेटाइल है, इसमें सिर्फ प्योर सॉल्वेंट है तो वो ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा पार्टिकल्स वेपराइज होंगे और ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा वेपर फॉर्म होंगी तो ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा वेपर प्रेशर होगा. लेकिन इस सोल्यूशन में नॉन वॉलेटाइल सोल्यूट होने की वजह से वेपराइज कम होंगे, सिर्फ प्योर सॉल्वेंट के पार्टिकल्स वेपराइज होंगे, सोल्यूट के नहीं होंगे. तो वेपर प्रेशर सोल्यूशन का कम होगा वेपर प्रेशर ऑफ प्योर सॉल्वेंट से. So that's what it's written here. Vapor pressure of the solution will be always less than the vapor pressure of pure solvent, that is P1 naught. So the lowering of vapor pressure of solvent, कितना वेपर प्रेशर सॉल्वेंट का कम हुआ है. लोवरिंग ऑफ वेपर प्रेशर ऑफ अ सॉल्वेंट, सॉल्वेंट के वेपर प्रेशर में जो कमी आई है उसको हम लोग क्या कहते हैं, कमी आई है यानी चेंज आया है. डेल्टा P1 is equals to P1 naught minus P1. The change in vapor pressure delta P1 is equals to P1 naught minus P1, because children यहाँ पर जो वेपर प्रेशर है प्योर सॉल्वेंट का वो ज़्यादा है वेपर प्रेशर ऑफ सोल्यूशन से. तो वेपर प्रेशर ऑफ प्योर सॉल्वेंट माइनस वेपर प्रेशर ऑफ सोल्यूशन होगा तो वो क्या होगा, आपको चेंज इन वेपर प्रेशर देगा. तो डेल्टा P1 इज इक्वल्स टू P1 नॉट, क्योंकि बड़ा सॉल्वेंट का प्रेशर है माइनस सोल्यूशन का कम है P1. सो P1 नॉट माइनस P1. एंड चिल्ड्रन जस्ट नाउ वी हैव seen that P1 is equals to P1 naught x1. So I have put the value of P1 over here, P1 naught x1. Now we'll take P1 naught common. So it came out to be P1 naught 1 minus x1. Now children, according to this formula, x1 plus x2 is equals to 1. x1 is equals to 1 minus x2 and x2 is equals to 1 minus x1. देखिए दोबारा बता देती हूँ, x1 plus x2 is equals to 1. So x1 will be what? This x2 will go here, 1 minus x2. In the same way, what will be x2? This x1 will go there. So it will be 1 minus x1. That's what I have written here. Okay. So it is 1 minus x1. So what is 1 minus x1, children? 1 minus x1 is x2. So I'll write instead of this x2 over here, because x2 is equal to 1 minus x1, children. So 1 minus x1. So delta P1 came out to be P1 naught x2. Okay. Or I can write x2. This will go down. P1 naught will go down. x2 will be equal to delta P1 upon P1 naught is equals to, children, P1 delta P1 is equals to P1 naught minus P1. So it is P1 naught minus P1 upon P1 naught. So that's what is coming over here. So now you can say, on seeing this, you can say that the relative lowering in vapor pressure which is given by delta P1 of an ideal solution containing a non-volatile solute, जो रिलेटिव लोवरिंग होगी किसी भी सोल्यूशन की, जो रिलेटिव लोवरिंग होगी वेपर प्रेशर में किसी भी सोल्यूशन की, वो किसके इक्वल होगी? मोल फ्रैक्शन ऑफ द सोल्यूट के. बिकॉज चिल्ड्रन 2 is always taken for solute. See here, x2 is for solute. So the relative lowering in vapor pressure, children, of a solution containing non-volatile solute is equal to mole fraction of the solute. So the relative lowering in vapor pressure will depend upon the mole fraction of the solute at a given temperature. Okay, now next one. We will determine the molar mass of the solute. Determination of molar mass of solute. So to express the relative lowering in vapor pressure in terms of molar mass. Now, just now children we have done relative lowering in vapor pressure, which is a colligative property. अगर मैं relative lowering in vapor pressure को molar mass के basis पे पता करना चाहती हूँ, एक्सप्रेस करना चाहती हूँ, रिलेटिव लोवरिंग इन वेपर प्रेशर को मोलर मास के बेसिस पे एक्सप्रेस करना चाहती हूँ, तो मैं उसे कैसे करूँगी. तो लेट W1 and W2 are the masses. If W1 and W2 are the masses and M1, M2 are the molar masses. Children, what I have taken W for the masses, that is in question, this you have done in number of moles, it is the given mass, and M1, M2 are the molar masses of any substance. I have told you earlier also that 1 is taken for solvent and 2 is taken for solute. So M1 is the molar mass of the solvent, M2 is the molar mass of solute. W1 is the mass in gram of the solvent, and W2 is the mass in gram of the solute. Okay, so these two are for solute, these two are for solvent, these two are the masses, these two are the molar masses. Now children, just now we got this. What is that? x2 is equals to delta P1 upon P1 naught, or x2 is equals to P1 naught minus P1 upon P1 naught. So firstly I'll do what x2 exactly is. Now children, we know that mole fraction of component 2 is equals to number of mole of component 2 upon number of mole of component 1 plus number of mole of component 2. Children, this formula we have already studied in class 11th and we have done it in class 12th also. Before coming to this, we have already studied it earlier. So x2 is equals to n2 upon n1 plus n2. This formula you all know, children. So what I'll do, you know that children, n2 is the number of mole of solute, n1 is the number of mole of solvent, and n2 is the number of mole of solute, and x2 is the mole fraction of the solute. Now children, what is the formula for a number of moles? Number of moles is equals to mass in gram divided by molar mass, that is W upon M. W is the mass in gram and M is the molar mass, children. So I'll put the value of N2, N1 and N2 in this one, X2. So children, X2 came out to be equal to N2 is W2 upon M2 upon N1 is W1 upon M1 plus N2 is, children, W2 upon M2, because number of moles, that is N, is equals to mass in gram divided by molar mass. Mass in gram we have expressed by W and molar mass we express by M. For solvent we take 1 1, for solute we take 2 2. So X2 came out to be equal to W2 upon M2 upon W1 upon M1 plus W2 upon M2. This, children, we got. So this value of x2 I am going to put in this. So x2 is W2 upon M2 upon W1 upon M1 plus W2 upon M2 is equal to P1 naught minus P1 upon P1 naught. But if, children, if the solution is dilute, that is, it is having more amount of water, then the number of moles of solute are less than the number of moles of solvent, because the solvent is large in quantity. If the solvent is water and if you add more and more water to the solution, then more water means the solution has become dilute now. So the number of moles of solvent is very large. अगर बेटा एक सोल्यूशन में हम लोग ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा वाटर डालेंगे तो जो सोल्यूशन है वो डाइल्यूट हो जाएगा, और जब सोल्यूशन डाइल्यूट होगा तो उस सोल्यूशन में सॉल्वेंट की क्वांटिटी बहुत ज़्यादा हो जाएगी, वाटर की क्वांटिटी बहुत ज़्यादा होगी, जिसकी वजह से जो नंबर ऑफ मोल ऑफ सॉल्वेंट हैं वो ज़्यादा हो जाएंगे किसके कंपैरिजन में, नंबर ऑफ मोल ऑफ सोल्यूट, बिकॉज सोल्यूट तो कम रह गया पर जो सॉल्वेंट था वाटर वो बहुत ज़्यादा हो गया क्योंकि हमने उसे डाइल्यूट कर दिया. सो N2 इज़ वेरी वेरी स्मॉल देन N1. सो नाउ इफ़ you see into this formula W1 upon M1 plus W2 upon M2, then this value becomes negligible. Here children, this is very large as compared to this one W2 upon M2, because if a solution is dilute then this value is very large as compared to this value. So we will ignore this value and it will be only W2 upon M2 upon W1 upon M1. So W2 upon M2 upon W1 upon M1. So putting the value in this, x2 is coming out to be equal to W2 upon M2 upon W1 upon M1. So x2 is equal to this, which is equal to P1 naught minus P1 upon P1 naught. Or you can say that P1 naught minus P1 upon P1 naught is equal to, children, W2 M1 upon W1 M2, that is W2 upon M2. The mass in gram divided by molar mass of second one solute is equal to number of moles of solute, that is N2, and W1 upon M1, okay, it is equal to N1. So it is coming out to be upon N1. So it is equal to N2 upon N1. So P1 naught minus P1 is equals to N2 upon N1. So that's what we got. Now we need to find out the molar mass of the solute. So the molar mass of the solute is M2. So children, what it will be? M2 will go up and this whole quantity will come down. So it will be M2 is going up. So here it is M2. In the numerator it is W2 upon M1 upon W1. Same. W2 upon M1 W1. This will come down. P1 naught minus P1 upon P1 naught. This is the formula to find out the molar mass of solute when there is relative lowering in vapor pressure, children. So this is very important formula. You all should learn it, because based on this formula numerical come in your board exams. Now next we will do a numerical based on this. An aqueous solution of 2% non-volatile solute exerts a pressure of 1.004 bar. एक एक्वस सोल्यूशन है और उस एक्वस सोल्यूशन में 2% नॉन वॉलेटाइल सोल्यूट है. चिल्ड्रन, वेन एवर इट इज परसेंट गिवन यू कन्वर्ट इट इनटू ग्राम. इट मीन्स द मास ऑफ नॉन वॉलेटाइल सोल्यूट इज 2 ग्राम. And aqueous solution it is. Whenever it is aqueous solution, it means that the solvent is water. So the solvent is water and a non-volatile solute is added to it, and that non-volatile solute is 2 gram. So this exerts a pressure. Pressure term is there, pressure. So it is somewhat related to relative lowering in vapor pressure, because you are adding a non-volatile solute and it is exerting some pressure. So it is somewhat related to relative lowering in vapor pressure. So that an non-volatile solute, aqueous solution, it exerts, that aqueous solution is exerting a pressure of 1.004 bar. So this is the pressure of the solution, 1.004 bar at normal boiling point of the solvent. At normal boiling point of the solvent. Okay. What is the molar mass of the solute? Children, what is asked is what is the molar mass of solute. Now molar mass of solute, the formula for molar mass of solute is M2 is equal to W2 upon M1 upon W1 upon P1 naught minus P1 upon P1 naught. Just now children we have done this formula. The same formula I have written here. M2 is equal to W2 upon M1 upon W1 upon P1 naught minus P1 upon P1 naught. So this formula you have to put, but to put this formula you should know all these values, children. Now Aqueous solution means that the solvent is water. So molar mass of water, molar mass of solvent will be equal to H2O. Formula for water is 2 into 1 plus 16. It is coming out to be equal to 18 gram per mole. So molar mass of the solvent is 18 gram per mole. Now vapor pressure of pure water at the boiling point, because children, here it is written at the normal boiling point of solvent. So the vapor pressure of pure solvent, that is water, at the boiling point, P1 naught. Children, for if water is there and that too pure water, if you heat it, then the vapor pressure of pure water, that is P1 naught, at its boiling point, children, it will be always equal to 1 atmosphere. That is what I am telling you, that the vapor pressure of pure water at its boiling point has a fixed value of 1 atmosphere, and 1 atmosphere is equal to 1.013 bar, because here the solution's vapor pressure of solution is given in bar. So children, you will convert the vapor pressure of pure solvent, that is pure water, at the boiling point, that is equal to 1 atmosphere, into bar. So it is coming out to be 1.013 bar. So we got to know the vapor pressure of pure solvent, P1 naught. We got to know the vapor pressure of the solution, that is P1 is equals to 1.004 bar. These values we got. Now what I need to find out is the value of W1. Okay, value of W1. W1 is what? It is the mass of the solvent. W1 is the mass of the solvent. W2 is the mass of the solute. M1 is the molar mass of the solvent. Molar mass of the solvent, children, we calculated 18 gram per mole of water. So W1 is the molar mass of the solvent. Okay, mass of the solvent it is. M1 is the molar mass of the solvent. So molar mass M1 is having value 18 gram per mole. Okay, W1 we will find out, that is the molar mass of the solvent. So mass of solute W2 is equals to 2 gram. Solute 2 gram. And whenever percentage is given, we predict that the mass of the solution is equal to 100 gram. So solution is made by mixing solute plus solvent. So the mass of solvent will be equal to mass of solution minus mass of solute. Mass of solution is 100 gram and mass of solute is 2 gram. 100 minus 2 is equals to 98 gram. So mass of solvent, that is W1, is equal to 98 gram. So now we'll put all the values in this formula. So molar mass of solute is equal to W2. Children, mass of solute given in the question 2 gram. M1, molar mass of the solvent, that is water is the solvent. Molar mass of water, H2O, is equals to 18 gram per mole. This into 18 upon, this is mass of the solvent. Mass of the solvent is mass of solution minus mass of solute. It is coming out to be equal to 98 gram. 98 gram into P1 naught. P1 naught, that is of pure solvent vapor pressure, 1.013, minus P1. P1 is the vapor pressure of the solution given in the question, 1.004 bar. So 1.004 bar upon P1 naught. 1.004 is equals to 41.35 gram per mole. So this is the molar mass of the solute. So that's all for this topic, children. I just hope this topic will be clear to you all. Just give me your answer in the comment section. Thank you and have a nice day.